Welcome to Pick Central, Football Friday, December 15th. Big sports weekend for a lot of people. We got NFL Saturday and Sunday. We got big bowl season for all the college football fans like myself. Bowl season starts tomorrow. Big slate of college football games. Huge UFC card this weekend. Very, very excited. It's myself, Clemmer. Marty will be here in a second. Might as well kick it off with maybe one of the weirder, depressing, sad NFL games I've ever watched last night. 63-14, I believe, was the final.
21. They got another.
That's right.
Another late one.
That's right.
They scored
63-21 final. Raiders just blow their doors off. One of those weird games where it was 21-0, I believe, 9-10 minutes into the game, and it was 42-0 at half. Never even came close. I don't know if I've watched football a long time. I don't know if I've ever seen an NFL team specifically just seem like they quit.
Give up.
As much as the Chargers did. Granted, you could say whatever, they scored a few touchdowns at the end. It was literally nonsense. I've never seen a team just roll over and die like that. I mean, they forced like 3-4 fumbles, the Raiders did. I'm like,
5 turnovers.
I mean, look, they weren't even, and some of these fumbles were not even like, they weren't even like ripping the ball that hard. They would just like put a little like boop and just pop out. It was weird to digest. I mean, this is a team, the Raiders, that scored 0 points the last time they played, 0. And they had 42 in the first half.
They're averaging 30 points a game the last 2 games.
Yeah. Just what were your thoughts? Well, it was weird as a better because I had the under and I had the Raiders. So it was the weirdest, like 10 minutes. I'm like, all right, split.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to split. Here we are.
It was, luckily I had Devontae Adams with a nice touchdown for me, but it came a little later than I would have hoped, but he got it.
And Jacoby Myers threw it. They were literally throwing touchdowns. He threw 2 passes, both to Adams.
Yes, and 2 for 2.
He was a quarterback, granted, in high school. I think a little even in college.
It just shows you what happens when a team, when a team in any pro sports doesn't put any effort in, you see what happens. And this all, in my opinion, this all falls on the head, the neck, the body, the torso, the legs of Brandon Staley. He needs to go. He needs to be fired probably today. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know. But unless the Chargers' attitude is like, you know what, fuck it. We'll go 5-12 and we'll finish the year off with the best draft pick possible. But Brandon Staley is one of the worst coaches I've seen in the NFL.
It's getting so bad for him, and he's so bad. I'm almost starting to feel bad. Like after, I don't know if you saw in the post-game presser, they asked him they almost basically said, give us the elevator pitch of why you should keep your job. Yes. And he basically just said, well, like games like this happen.
These kind of games happen.
Like,
no, they don't.
I was like, I mean, listen, you see games. You obviously see games where they'll be like 30-6. Like you see some bad games where you get blown up. But I mean, down 42-0 at half in the NFL. Those games, no, they don't really happen.
That told me how much the Chargers don't respect Staley. Honestly,
they don't give
a fuck.
And the second Herbert came out, they didn't get Herbert. It was the first time he wasn't actually starting. Did not give a fuck. Defense didn't give a fuck. I mean, they just looked awful. Like they just had no interest in being there. Like they're ready to just pack up the season, just give us 3-4 more losses, whatever, how many games they have left, and just call it good. I guess so. Ken Jack, our resident Chargers fan, has said or at least the last month and really all year, that they just won't fire a coach in season. And I guess we saw with Anthony Lynn too. He was atrocious. Yep. So many late game mismanagement of timeouts, just bad, just play calling, all things like that. And then I don't believe they fired him in season.
They did not.
So I guess it's kind of their thing. They're just going to ride it out, and maybe it's like you said. Maybe this is where maybe I've always said I'm against tanking. This might be a situation where, I mean, the team has basically just chosen their tanking, not even the front office.
No.
The team just doesn't they just play like they don't give a fuck.
So what happens the rest of the way? So they have 3 games left. They have the Bills at home in L.A. Then they go at Broncos, who are a team fighting.
Yeah, for sure.
And they finish off with the Chiefs.
Literally three team playoff teams.
Yes.
Broncos fighting their rights out for a playoff spot.
So how does this end for them? Like, if you're going to give up 3 to the Raiders.
This is a game where this is a week where it's I'm almost thinking it's like a gut check week where you have to look at, obviously, the team's bad regardless. I mean, they look awful. On offense, they look just inept. Defense, look like they quit. But there's got to be somebody on that defense, whether it's like a guy that's going to be there long term, like a Derwin James or like a I don't know how long his contract is, like Khalil Mack, like someone like an established veteran who's been there, done that. He's obviously a phenomenal player. Needs to just like put a foot in everybody's ass in the locker room and be like, we need to at least act like we try to pretend like we give a fuck for the last 3 weeks. I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know even if those guys even give a fuck anymore. Just one of the more pathetic efforts I've ever.
It wasn't a professional effort last night.
It was, absolutely pathetic.
And, these guys, I know Keenan Allen didn't play, and obviously I know Justin Herbert, so I get all that. But that was not, and if you're the NFL, that's not great look on a primetime game to have a team roll out there and just not give a fuck.
They've really, obviously the primetime games, they're a little bit of a gamble every year. You can say the NFL has a lot of parity. A lot of teams fall, rise, but, I think they have missed primetime games more than they ever have. Because it's not even the bad ones this year where example, like just like a bad matchup. You have two, like, teams coming in that you thought were going to be bad, like, say, like,
even like last week, Giants-Packers could have gone south.
I'm saying, for example, like when you came into the year, where they really fucked up a lot was they thought the Jets played a lot of prime time.
Oh, yeah.
They were obviously thinking Aaron Rodgers is going to be there. And then early in the year, Broncos were a lot of prime time, which they're playing a lot better now. But they were so bad early on. And obviously they were thinking Sean Payton, they're going to bounce back, which they were right, but they were just wrong in the placement of those games. But I feel like this year they've missed on prime time more than even the ones that they were like trying to be good. Like I guess you can say like last week, like Jacksonville, Bengals. It was a good football game.
Right, but it's not what they signed up for.
But you ended up getting Browning, and then Lawrence gets hurt. But, yeah, they've missed on primetime more than
this year's has been so weird with all the quarterback injuries. It's hard to even – one positive from it, though, is, like you said, all the parity. We have so many teams in each conference fighting right now at 6-7, 7-6. So it does – I think it's going to make for a pretty exciting last, 4 weeks here.
I do too. The AFC is going to be, and now even it's crazy. The NFC
too.
We thought wasn't going to have parity. All of a sudden, you have the Rams, Saints. Like the Giants are now crazy. If they could beat the Saints, they're in the mix. If the Bears can keep winning, they're
the Falcons
weirdly in the mix. You have the NFC South, which
got the Seahawks. You got the Rams.
Yeah, somebody's going to win. Somebody has to win that.
Yeah, you're right. And you got the three-headed three-headed poodle in the NFC South.
That's right. The NFC feels a little weird to me because all the teams are fighting. I don't really think have a chance to do anything deep in the playoffs. Where the AFC, there's a few teams that I think could potentially make runs. I think the Bills could potentially make a run. I think the Broncos could be a dangerous team. I think even just the way they travel or the defense. I do think the Browns could even like our team that I don't think you're dying to play. You're not dying to have that defense come play you. There's one other team I was going to say I was forgetting too.
Maybe the Bengals?
Yeah, the Bengals are they're weird. We'll actually want to get in that game pretty much now, go to the Saturday games. Because that's kind of a weird line to me.
I'm on the Bengals.
We'll get into actually, if we want to give a quick breaking news, we'll stay with football. But Dodgers extended Glasnow.
Yeah.
5 years, $135 million deal. I didn't see that until just now.
Yeah, just happened right before we went on. Yeah, he's that includes his $25 million contract for this year, and it's a 4-year, $110 on top of that. Look, Glasnow obviously super talented. He has not started 22 games in a season in his entire career. He always breaks down. If you get the Glasnow that can go 30 starts for you, if you can somehow figure that out, he's very good. He had a 3.20 ERA with Tampa in the last 4 years. He can be a fantastic pitcher, but he has to stay healthy. But, you got Walker Buehler now. You got they have the rookie in there, Bobby Miller, excuse me. Yeah. And then you have Glasnow. They still need 2 more guys. So they still have to go out there and it doesn't need to be aces, but you still need to have 2 more guys and go out there, eat some innings, and get some shit done for you. But no, the Dodgers aren't fucking around.
Clearly not.
So, and they still have some money to spend.
If they don't get Yamamoto, they're still going to go after a Snell or
Jordan Montgomery
or one of these guys. I imagine,
or even like a lesser name down. Even like a Michael Wacha. I know that's not a huge name, but a fifth starter is pretty good. So, you just go out there and get some of those guys that can go out there and do some quality innings for you. With that Dodger lineup, now that you have Ohtani in there, okay. Ohtani, Freeman, Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, Will Smith, let's go.
Yeah, I like it. We'll get back. So Saturday, 3 NFL games. At 1 o'clock, we got Vikings, Bengals. 4:30, all East Coast time, obviously. 4:30, we got Steelers, Colts. And the night game, we got Broncos, Lions. Start Vikings, Bengals. You said you took the Bengals already?
Yeah, I like the Bengals here a lot. I took them out -3. I just don't trust the Vikings quarterback situation. It's just a mess. Their offense really seems to be struggling, and I don't know. I kind of believe in Browning.
I do too. I'm having a weird dilemma with Browning because I think a guy like him, it's almost like I'm my better mindset coming into this game is Do I want to fade him? And is this a game that he falls? Because the first game he didn't look very good. Last 2 games, well, obviously the Jaguars game he looks incredible. Last week he looks good, like pretty solid. I'm almost waiting, like do like a little regression to the mean a little bit. Like I mean, he not to say he can't be a good quarterback, but cause, I mean, after they saw him the first that Jaguars game, I'm like, maybe this guy, maybe he's got something. I mean, he was really accurate. I liked what they did with him play calling wise, and I liked that they kept it up the next week too against Indianapolis, and they smoked him obviously.
You know what I like about Browning though is he still has those receivers. He still has
true.
Jamar Chase. Those guys can make you look good. T. Higgins, I know that he's not having the greatest year, but he's still an option. Like you have guys out there that can perform for you that I think might give him an advantage over, I don't know, like someone like last night with Easton Stick.
Yeah, Nick Mullins is starting, who is in my opinion better than Easton Stick, but that's not saying a lot. I'm kind of surprised. I know he's cut off the concussion, and I know they put him in last week. He brings him down for the field goal. They win the game. I'm kind of surprised they didn't go with Jaron Hall. I think he's a little more upside than Mullins is. Like we've seen Mullins around the league for a while. We kind of we spot starts 4 or 5 years ago with the Niners. I think he might have played with the Raiders a little bit. Something like I think in my opinion we kind of know who he is.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Where Jaron Hall is like a younger guy.
He looked pretty good in the small amount of time he's played this year.
It was like a quarter, but he looked good in that quarter. He had driven them all the way down. Yeah. He basically got hurt trying to score the touchdown. Got hit hard and like inside the 5. I think he's definitely more athletic. He was who followed up Zach Wilson at BYU. He's a good athlete. He's there. And he's actually, they said he's the backup. Like Dobbs is like the emergency third string. So if they did make a change, basically they're saying they would go to Hall first. I'm having a tough time with this. So there's a big part of me that wants to be contrarian, but I tend to agree with you. I mean, Brownings look so good. They're at home. I kind of trust their defense a little more, too, than I do the Vikings.
I know it's 3.5 right now. I don't like that hook, so I'm going with the -3.
Yeah, if I was going to play, I'd try to get it down to 3 at 120 if I could, if there's somewhere to get that. But, yeah, I'll go with the Bengals for now. On the next game, this is an interesting one to me. The line's weird as fuck.
But Steelers-Colts?
Steelers-Colts. Steelers are +1.5 on the road. I'm seeing a lot of people that, I'll say smart people on the Steelers, that people that I respect their betting opinions in the NFL. They're tough because I've seen a lot this year. Like their defensive splits are not good on the road. Trubisky has looked bad. I mean, their offense was bad with Pickens. I mean, with Trubisky, it's been even worse. The only thing with the Colts is I don't really trust their defense, but they score a lot, and they've scored a lot kind of all year. They threw up a dud last week. But, I mean, they had won 4 games coming into that. Granted, those 4 wins were against Carolina, New England, Tampa, and Tennessee in a game they really probably should have lost that they won. And they get blown out by Cincinnati. So there's part of me kind of wants to go with the Steelers here. Almost like they can't look as bad. And I do like Tomlin as a dog. And hopefully the defense, like I said, the splits have not been as good on the road, but I'm hoping they can still get some pressure here, at least on the quarterback. Minshew's he's played solid, man.
Yeah, he's been very he's even maybe been a little better than solid. Like they said, they score a lot. Now I'm on the Colts money line, but Jonathan Taylor has been ruled out.
Yeah.
So he didn't play last week either, but so I'm on the Colts money line. It's more of an indictment on the Steelers than on the Colts, but also they're at home. I'm gonna go with the Colts here, but the Steelers defense is very good. I just don't trust Trubisky at all. I can't bet on him.
And it's one of those two where just like a pure like gambler thing. Lot of action on the Colts. Line moving the opposite direction. That's a big like red flag to me. Not always like 100. Nothing's 100% gambling, but just a little bit of a red flag. Just to keep in mind.
This one I'm fucking out to lunch here. I don't know what to do here.
We got Broncos Lions.
Help me out with this one.
Lions are laying 4.5 at home. Now, again, this will be one. I know the Lions at home, especially the last 2 years, have been a great over team. I think I'm definitely going to take the over. It's I believe it's 48.
Yep.
I like the over there. I think they both should score. I mean, Denver's defense has looked way better, and I think Detroit's problem is they haven't really been able to stop anyone lately. That's been at least part of it. They've let up last 3 games. Let up 28 points, 28 points, 29 points, 26 and 38.
Jesus.
And those were 2 last week. They lost 28-13 the Bears. They gave up 28 in a win to New Orleans on the road. They gave up on the Thanksgiving game. They gave up 29 to Love and the Packers at home. Gave up 26 to to Chicago at home, and that was a game they really should have lost. They scored a couple of touchdowns at the end and won. And they were in a 41-38 shootout with the Chargers. So I really like the over here. The overs are going to be like the play. I probably will play a side. I really want to play the Broncos, to be honest.
I do too.
But I almost feel like it seems a little too like the Lions are kind of due for a bounce back a little bit.
That's what I'm wondering. I think we're on the same page this one. I feel exactly what you.
I kind of want to take the Lions in the over, but I've been very like I don't know. The over is the play that I like the most for sure in that game. Maybe of the day, to be honest. That's probably the one I feel best about in the NFL.
On that Saturday?
Yeah, I think in my opinion, yes. The over in Broncos Lions is probably the one I like the most of any of them.
I don't hate that play at all. I
just like how much better. I just like how much better the Broncos offense is. Like the Lions at home score. Like I think they will get theirs.
4.5. I don't know. I'm leaning more on the Broncos there. I don't know. That's. I'm actually excited to watch that game. I just don't.
The
know.
Lions need a good performance.
Lions need something.
They've looked so. I was so high on them. I really thought the way they ran the ball, I thought was going to travel. Even though like they're a dome team, but Goff has taken such a step back the last few weeks. He's not been himself.
They haven't even had that many offensive injuries. You know what I mean? Like
no, that hasn't been like really.
No,
they had Montgomery out for a little bit, but that was like earlier in the season. That was like in the middle of the season. He's been back the last few weeks, and even when he was out, I mean, Gibbs was playing great. So I mean, I don't think that was really even much of an issue. He was running the ball a ton. Yeah, they just I don't know. And I'm a big fan of Goff. Like I've stuck up for him a lot. I think he's underrated, but the last few weeks he's just been sloppy. A lot of turnovers, bad interceptions. I mean, 13 points. And granted, the Bears' defense has turned into leaf. They play much better, essentially since they picked up Sweat. But I mean, 13 points to the Bears is unacceptable with the talent they have on offense. Honestly, we'll go to other Sunday games. I know you're not a big college. I'll wait till maybe Marty pops in, talks some more college, but we'll keep going down the NFL board for Sunday. Here we got Giants, Saints. See that line down to Saints are minus 5.5.
Yeah, I'm seeing 5 even. Yeah,
this is a tough one because to me, I'll admit, like that's a Saints line kind of. But on the other hand, Vegas all year has not really respected the Giants. They didn't last year. They don't again. They just don't see them good like on paper.
Well, the Saints are the better team. They're
more talented. They're more talented for sure.
The Giants, I mean, they figure it. I don't know. I at this point, like, there's a little magic in those.
Their defense is playing way better. They're scrapping. And I just like what they're doing with the offensive line. The offensive line gave up no sacks against the Packers, who was good pass rush, like a legitimately solid pass rush. So I was very impressed by that because I mean, DeVito was getting sacked left and right the first couple starts. So that makes me like feel good as a Giants fan. Andrew Thomas being back has definitely been huge.
Getting 5? I don't know.
Giants play. There was 6 early in the week. In the 6, I was like licking my chops. So hopefully, maybe we get a swing back. We'll see. But even 5, 6, I like the Giants. Their defense has been playing too well. I know it's on the road, but their defense has been playing so much better. And cars look so bad. I trust the Giants' defense to keep this close. I'm hoping we don't finally have like the DeVito game where it like falls apart. That's what I'm praying for.
I know.
Like he's just a star can only shine so bright, but I
trust
him though. I mean, he's done a great job not turning the ball over. They put him in good situations to make the right throws. Wandell's like had a huge game. Getting him in the offense, I think, has been huge. Explosive guy. Need that speed guy to like put together with Hodgins, with Saquon. So I like the way they're headed. I mean, it's a huge game for playoff implications. As crazy as that sounded like 3-4 weeks ago.
My heart.
The winner of this game, I think, is like potentially like in that last spot.
Yeah.
Or you're right.
Or like right there. The Giants. I know the Saints would kind of not lock it in, but being a good
Saints winning would be they'd probably put them in. They'd probably win the division, to be honest. But
my brain tells me the Saints because they're a more talented team. I hate watching the Saints play. They are dreadful. They are boring. They are frustrating. I can't imagine being a Saints fan. Meanwhile, the Giants. I know I give you guys a lot of shit. They're fucking fun to watch. I like the Tommy DeVito stuff. I like all of it. It's fun. It's nice. It's like there's so much horrible shit in the world like that we have. Like if you open a newspaper, it's fucking. It's just dreadful. It's a nice story. It's fun. It's a scrappy team. They're trying. We had Justin Pugh in here a few weeks ago. Great guy. Like how do you not? I know I'm a Jets fan, but like, how do you not root for this team a little bit? Like, I don't know.
And something that's been fascinating to me too that I've seen people on Twitter pointed out. And as a Giants fan, it clicked in my head right away once I said it because I was like, it's so true. I mean, we've seen Brian Dable give, especially this year specifically, Daniel Jones, a lot of shit on the sideline after making bad mistakes, turnovers, bad throws, bad reads. Even Tyrod Taylor, the big one with the end of the half in Buffalo, where they had no timeouts and they ran the ball.
Right. Yes.
When they could have, which to me, I defended Dable yelling at him because like a 35-year-old, like 10 plus
been around for 12 years. What are you
NFL
doing?
veteran should never make a mistake like that. He checked to a run where basically if you just don't score, the half's over when he could have threw the ball 3 times, either sold out, ran for the 4th down, or kicked a goal, and ended up being the difference at the end of the game. But he gives Tommy DeVito no shit. I don't know. I think there's something with Tommy where it's weird because I've heard so many Giants people, and even like just some connections we have, like inside stuff, that how much they do like truly love Daniel Jones. But there's just something different at DeVito. I'm not even talking about like their skill sets, like just as players, but there's something so different and unique about a quarterback where guys can truly just rally around him and legitimately play better when they like him and play for him. And I think we're truly are seeing that with DeVito. You see the way immediately, even like 2 games ago, 3 games ago, he throws that first touchdown pass. All the linemen are immediately, they're just looking at him going like this. Like they really are like, we're like really coming together with him and like are really behind him and want to play hard for him. And there's something with Dable, like the guy that somebody asked about, like his like composure leading into that last drive against the Packers after like Saquon fumbles, they bring it back, they score, and immediately he was like, "Oh, like I never have to worry about Tommy DeVito's composure, like just a non-issue."
He also does.
I thought that was very like I was like that's respect. Like
it is.
Guy that's undrafted rookie. Really, if you looked on paper, had no business ever starting an NFL game, and here he is playing well, winning games. And if a coach who's like the reigning coach of the year saying, "No, like that's not something we have to worry about with Tommy DeVito."
Well, it's easy. Impressive. I think it's easy to make fun of, like, oh, this guy's goofy or this guy's silly. I'll tell you what, from a on the field IQ, Tommy DeVito doesn't fuck up.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't make mental mistakes.
And actually, a cool little story. I don't know how much you might think he was with the Patriots a few years ago. Brett Bielema. I don't know how much you really are with Brett Bielema. Long time, like very good college coach. Coached in Wisconsin for a long time. Okay. He was the line coach of the Patriots a little in between.
Okay.
Now he's Illinois' head coach, who Tommy DeVito played his last year. And his father, someone asked his father, I believe, was about Brett Bielema, and basically said he's like the best guy ever. Like every week, he's been a guy that's been there, done that, been a coach forever. Smart guy, good offensive mind, loves to run the ball, but good quarterback guy as well. And basically, just talk about what Bielema, how like after every game, he's talking to DeVito about like taught him, or even just while he was at Illinois, but continuing it like after, just so much stuff with just situational football. The third and long to like, hey, like we're gonna like just hey, like we get 3-4 yards, like we might go for it on 4th down here, like just making the smart reads and just like coaching him up to make smart decisions and just great like quarterback situational football with decision making and things like that. And basically, he still like hits him up after every game, talks to him every week about things like that, and basically just saying how big that basically his father was saying how big he thought that was, and his development is like the success he's having now in the NFL, that he made those like big steps, leaving Syracuse, going to Illinois, and playing for Bielema. I just thought as a college football fan myself, like it's like a both fan of NFL and college. I thought it was a cool story to hear, like a guy like that who this guy is coaching like a Big Ten team, is there and coaching college. I mean, it's nonstop. The second the game's over, you're recruiting.
Oh yeah, those guys are maniacs.
And the fact that he's basically the point that his dad was saying is the fact that he still has time and it's taking legitimately time out of his day to talk to Tommy, working through stuff, like just help, like whatever advice he can give. Basically, he's just a great coach.
That's good. That's good mentorship.
Shout out Bielema. I just want to say that because I'm a big fan of Bielema. I think he's done a good job at Illinois as well. But yeah, I like the Giants with the points, and probably the under as well. Like the Giants have just been an under, even though
the Saints haven't scored either.
They're scoring more late. Like the total went over actually last week, but
yeah, the line's 39 in that. I don't know which way I'm going on that, but the Saints offense has been such a disappointment.
Yeah, no, Carr struggled a lot. I'll take the Giants and the points. Next one, your Jets at the Dolphins.
Gross.
Spread is, I'm seeing 9.5 right now.
Run away from this game. Don't bet it.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, who knows? Is Zach Wilson from last week going to show up? Is terrible Zach Wilson going to show up? I don't know. I'm so disgusted with
this. Because this is a different game than it was in Met. Like
Miami.
It really is crazy. I've said this a bunch of times with different quarterbacks where it's amazing you see like you think it can't get worse and you see how bad it can get. Example, Tim Boyle. How we can just you want to see Zach Wilson's bad. Let me show you Tim Boyle, brother. Yeah. This guy can't even throw the ball. I like Wilson's mentality. Like I said it kind of jokingly yesterday, but I still think it's kind of true. Like when he said the quote, like what are they going to do, bench me again? I was like, that he became a man in that quote. Like, I can tell the way he said he meant it. And maybe he turns a new leaf here. I just don't think the Dolphins' defense is that good. I really don't. We just saw, I mean, I know it was the end of the game, but we just saw Levis and these guys just torch him at the end. I don't really. I just
9.5 is a big.
I just don't trust. I would if this got to
with the Jets defense pretty good.
If this got to 10, like I really would feel inclined to take a stab at the Jets as much as you plug your nose every time you submit a Jets wager.
The problem is that Dolphins' offense is so explosive. Yeah, you could be 10, and the next thing you know, Tyreek Hill goes off.
That's the worst. That's the scariest part.
I don't know.
You just score so fast.
I will say though, if you really are inclined, 9.5 is a big number against the Jets defense that is still very good, even though the offense is so frustrating. And
yeah, right now, nothing locked up. Right now, only in the Jets with the points. So next, this is kind of a weird game because we don't know what's going to happen with quarterbacks yet. But Texans at Titans. Titans are -3. Obviously, it's Friday tomorrow. I know Stroud did not practice yesterday.
2 days in a row. He's still in the protocol.
So that's not good.
No. I would assume he's not going to play. And this line,
the line is pointing towards that he's definitely the line's pointing towards he's not going to play. This is obviously to stay away from me until I know what's really who's going to start.
Absolutely.
Stroud and Mills is just such a big difference. But
let's say so let's do a hypothetical, which I think we both agree is going to happen. Stroud doesn't play. This line stays the same. What do you like?
This might be one of those where I'd probably stay away, to be honest.
I think I'd take the Texans. I know I'm probably higher on Mills than I should be, but I think he's not bad. He's not great. He's not even good. I get that, but I'm saying he's not bad.
He's not the worst.
He's not bad.
He's kind of bad.
I'm bad.
It's like
we're probably arguing semantics.
We're semantics for sure, but yeah,
I think he can give you a chance to win. I think the Texans have a pretty good team. Now I will say though, obviously they lost Tank, and now Nico Collins is probably not going to play.
That's what hurts me. That's losing those two.
How many weapons does he have left? So maybe
is Schultz going to be back because he was banged up?
I want to.
Yeah, he hadn't played the last couple weeks either.
Did he play last week?
I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
I'm gonna look it up while you keep going here.
Yeah, I guess if I am a fan of starting backup quarterbacks in that first start.
You're absolutely right. By the way, Schultz did not play last week. Excuse me, but he did return to practice.
All right, so that means he should play this week, which should help. So I just betting backup quarterbacks in their first start has been a profitable venture in the NFL. So
you're getting 3. I know it's in Tennessee.
If I could, that would tickle me to get 3 because also Vrabel's one of those coaches too, and the Titans have been one of those teams good as underdogs, not great as favorites. So yeah, I'll lean the Texans with Mills.
I'm leaning that way too, but I'm not official yet.
Right, next we got Packers Bucks at Packers. Packers laying 3.5. This is the Mincy lock of the week. This is the as he was the Pat Green Packers good bet. So I think I have no choice but to bet the Packers here.
I'm gonna
strictly off that, and I do like them coming off the a bad loss to the Giants when they had looked really good. I think I don't love the Bucks are the Bucks are what they are. They're a solid team. They're good but not great. And I think even
I don't think they're good. They're good, average but not good.
I was gonna say good is probably even generous. They're so solid.
Once I had a man who's obsessed with widespread panic wearing a dunce cap saying Packers, I had only one choice. And that was to bet the Packers. So I did knock it down to 3 points.
If you can, that's
instead of 3.5. I bought the half point there. But hey man, Packers are a good pick.
It's one of those I think I would know my hands are tied. The second I saw
you have to.
I was
yeah.
We're all riding with Mincy and the Packers. Get back. Get your mind right, Mincy.
Get your mind right.
Next we got a little NFC South showdown. Falcons at Panthers. Falcons -3.
Walk me through this one. Why is this screams Falcons, but it screams Falcons so much I'm scared.
I don't know if it screams Falcons. It's
Panthers are terrible.
It really the problem with the Panthers is the line has screamed Panthers for 2 months straight and they never cover. That's the God's honest truth. That line has screamed every single week I see the line. I'm like, oh my God, the Panthers. This has got to be the one they cover, right? This has got to be the one they cover, right? And they never fucking cover. They have burned me so badly, so many times. I love when the NFL taking the ugly pick. And the Panthers have been the ugly pick so many times, and they just lose. I think they're 1-12 record. I believe they're 1-12 against the spread. They're I'm pretty sure, maybe 2-11. They are horrific against the spread. Horrific. I just can't bet on them. I'm just done with it. I said last week I was going to be done with it, and I did it anyway, and it fucked me in the ass.
So we're both in the Falcons.
I'm Falcons or nothing. Like, are just not playing the game, at least on the sides.
Panthers head coach is a man named Chris Tabor. I don't even know what that means.
I mean, it's just his name.
I know. I don't know who he is. It could might as well be Chris Clemmer. Like, I don't know who this man is.
Yeah, they are
like this is just some random guy coaching the team.
And even we talked about it on Monday, just recapping the games. I mean, this was a game against the Saints where I've never seen a team in the Saints look so bad, and they won by 22. But the reason that happened is because that's just how bad the Panthers are. They are the worst team in the NFL, in my opinion, by far.
I just don't know why his line isn't higher. And that's what scares me.
It's just another one of those, like, you see patterns with teams. Even when Vegas is wrong, I was saying, I was pointing to before, like, they don't respect the Giants. They somehow, like, kind of like the Panthers.
I agree.
Like, the Panthers just keep getting these, like, short numbers. They keep being, like, small underdogs, especially at home. Even though they lose they just don't cover ever. Like I said, I believe they're 1-12 against the spread. I'm pretty sure. So that's it. They're thinking, listen, in like division rival, at home, catching 3. If you're playing the Panthers, I mean, God bless you. Plug your nose and submit it. I can't do it. I can't bet the Panthers.
Now, one thing I will say, because I know me and you both agree with this, the Falcons are a much better home team.
For sure.
They are on the road. But even so, I'm betting the Falcons. So I am betting the Falcons here. I was waiting to do it. I wanted to talk to you about it first, but you've done nothing to talk me out of it.
I can't, like, would it shock me if the Falcons, like, it's a sloppy, gross game and the Falcons win by 2? No, it wouldn't shock me, but I can't in good faith be like, look my viewers in the eye and be like, bet on the Panthers. I can't do it.
No.
I can't do it. I'm not in good faith because I'm not going to bet my own money on it. Next, we got Bears-Browns, 2 teams that are playing a lot better recently, especially the Bears. We got Browns -3 at home. This game, I mean, the line to me says Bears. They've been playing a lot better. The defense is much improved. Fields has played pretty well, especially since he's been back from the injury. He's played solid. They've won 2 games in a row. They beat Minnesota at Minnesota, and they just beat Detroit at home.
2 pretty good wins. I mean,
and they really should have beat Detroit that game before and blew it. And they beat Carolina before that. So, I mean, they won 3 of the last 4.
Okay.
And really should have won 4 in a row. But regardless, they won 2 in a row.
But the Browns,
the Browns are tough because they're, like I said, they're a team I really like. I have faith in. Their defense at home has been very good.
Flacco played really well last week.
They did give up 27 just last week to Jacksonville, but Jacksonville is a good offense. I think this is a defensive battle. I like the Bears catching 3 here. That's my knee-jerk reaction. That's my not my first look, but that's my feeling sitting here at Friday at 11:34 p.m. East Coast time. I like the Bears +3.
I have a hard time betting Joe Flacco as a favorite in 2023, our Lord's year. I have a hard time doing that. But
did cover last week.
I know. That's what I mean. It's the world we live in now. I don't know. I'm very confused with this game. The over/under is 38. But the Bears' offense has been better.
It has been. I don't hate the under because both defenses have been are like in my now that what the Bears are at. I would go as far as to say, what I've seen from them since Sweat, their defense is like good.
So much better.
It's like legitimately solid.
He's made such a huge difference on that team.
They've just kind of rallied. Like, they've kind of found something. Like I could see if they win this game and they can even make.
That's what I mean.
I could see Eberflus potentially even keeping his job.
I think I might just watch this game. I don't know if I'm going to bet it because I'm actually kind of excited for this game.
It's a very good like low key game because like if the Bears can pull this out, they're like really still in the mix. The Bears and Giants are in the same spot. Like if they win, it's like they basically season moves forward. If they lose, the season's over. You
know, Rico says some weeks are good to go like Christmas shopping instead of watching NFL. I know you disagree with that, but some weeks are like, the slate's not great. I know you, but some weeks the slates aren't great. This week, I gotta say, I'm staying home. I always do anyway, but I'm especially like putting my ass on the couch. I think there's a lot of good games this week.
Yeah, I think so too. And I was at the Saturday mix is nice as well. So next we got Chiefs at Patriots. Chiefs I'm seeing this line is down to 8 now. I thought it was even like 9.5 earlier in the week. I think. Yeah, I'm seeing Chiefs -8.
Yep, me too.
I'm seeing the total at
37. I'm leaning toward betting the over here.
This is tough.
Is that idiotic?
No, I don't think it's idiotic. It's the Patriots offense. I mean, they look better, obviously.
And the Chiefs offense has been in neutral all year.
This is one of those games I need the Chiefs to show me they can turn it up. Like even though beating up on the bad teams is whatever, but also on some level that's what good teams do.
Yes.
Is they beat up on bad teams. So I need the Chiefs to have a little gut check here and be like, hey, these Patriots team stinks. I don't care if it's Bill Belichick. I don't care that they're the Patriots. We need to go in there and win this game by 2 touchdowns. Establish dominance. They're the better team. But their offense is just sloppy. It's just not what it was, or at least what it has been the last few years. And if there's one thing the Patriots still do it at least decently well is play defense.
Yep.
So I mean, it's another one. Like if you're gonna take the Patriots, you're plugging your nose to it. But I keep saying over and over, those are the bets I like in the NFL. It's been so weird this year because I know we have broken your balls about it. But I'm speaking like truthfully that the way this year started the first half of the year, I've never seen favorites win like this, and I think now we're like finally starting to see their turn. We're like like those dogs are starting to come home.
Yeah. Well, we saw it last week.
We're starting to see more of it. So this is a game where like part of me is inclined to almost either play Patriots or nothing.
Yeah, I don't love this. So
even the Chiefs with these spreads, like Mahomes has not been cool.
Oh.
These like big spreads, he's been bad.
Well, the Chiefs haven't scored 3 touchdowns in a game.
They're just overvalued. They're just always overvalued because of the Chiefs.
The last 6 games, the Chiefs have scored over 21 points just once. Now we've been talking on this show a lot about this 4-game stretch. We got the Patriots, Raiders, Bengals, Chargers. This is the time when the Chiefs are going to win 4 in a row and then, get a bye. But they have to do it. And this is the first step there. And I agree completely with what you're saying. You're saying the Chiefs need to win this game with exclamation point. They need to go in there and win by, like you said, 15
Dominate.
points. Let's go. Kick ass from first quarter to fourth quarter. That's what the Chiefs need to do. If the Chiefs can't do that, I question this team. I mean, I've been kind of questioning them the last couple of games anyway, but now I'm starting to really get some worry.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the Chiefs with I'm gonna take the Patriots with the points. That's where I sit right now.
I think I might take the over but I don't. I'm not touching the spread. I'm too nervous with the Chiefs, which is a sad statement.
No, I hear you.
Patriots suck.
Yeah. So next we got 3 games in the afternoon slate, the 4:00 slate. First one we got Niners at Cardinals. Niners are laying 12. This is, to me, the thing that I do like about even though they didn't cover last week, which I was on the other. Thank God I was on the other side.
I got fucked.
But against the Seahawks, they were laying like 14 and a half.
13 and a half.
They won by 12.
Yep.
But the one thing I do, I think the Seahawks are a much better team than the Cardinals. This is a game where this like the Niners are almost like the opposite of the Chiefs, and like I trust them to go lay a hammer on a team like the Cardinals, even with Murray back.
Even though it's in Arizona?
Yes. This is a spot where I might change my mind by Sunday. I'll speak on how I'm feeling now, but they're a team that I trust. Like when they are fully healthy, when they have Ayuk, when they have McCaffrey,
Debo.
when they have Debo and Trent Williams, they just don't lose. And not only do they not lose, they smack people around.
They win convincingly.
They score a ton of points. And once their defense in that spot where like guys like Bosa, and now they have Chase Young in the mix, and all these guys can just pin the ears back, that's a problem. Big problem for the Cardinals. I'll lay the big number here with the Niners.
All right, I'll ride with you.
They beat teams up. I mean, you look at their last scores.
I know.
At Jacksonville, 34-3. At home against Tampa, they win by 13. Yep. At Seattle, they win by 18. At Philly, they blow them out
by 23.
And win by And then last week they only missed covering by 1.5, 2 points.
They still won by 12
against Seattle at home.
And 12 is the number. So I'm you know what, Ev, I'm with you. Let's go Niners.
Yeah, I like the Niners. This next one, kind of an interesting one for me. Commanders at Rams. Rams minus 6.5 coming off the big. They almost beat the Ravens. Great offensive performance against a good Ravens defense by Stafford and Puka and those guys. I want to plug my nose, take the Commanders with the points a little bit. Commanders are just one of those very weird teams. They're so like, you see them like for example, the last 3 games really horrible. They get just blown out by Miami. They get blown out by Dallas. But they also have those weird games where they keep it close. Like they almost beat Seattle. The games with the Eagles, they almost beat the Eagles almost like both times.
They're coming off a bye.
They're just, but they're a team I wonder.
I think they've given up.
That's what I was going to question. Is this
the Chase Young trade?
Giving up? They traded him, obviously Sweat.
Right. I think when that happened, they gave up.
Their defense has definitely gotten worse since then for sure.
I'm on the Rams. I believe in Stafford. I'm riding the Rams.
I do. I've been a Rams guy for a while. I like what they do when Stafford's healthy. They're really good. There's this part of me that thinks maybe coming off the bye, maybe we got a little bit of a last stand here. They maybe think they have something at quarterback. I don't know. Where are you at on Sam Howell?
I don't know.
Do you think they do you think they have something in him, or
he's not bad? He's not. How was he in college?
So his college career was kind of interesting. At North Carolina, his junior year, he was incredible. If he came out, they were talking about if he came out, it could have been like a top pick. He comes back. The team's not as good. Still has a very good season statistically. The team's not great. He lost some talent in offense. He ends up going to the fall, I think the 4th or 5th round. But he was really good in college. Like I thought he was a good player. I was a fan of him in college.
He's going to throw 4,000 yards. He is leading the league in interceptions.
He throws the ball. They just throw the ball with him a ton. They're always
leading the league
losing.
in completions and attempts and interceptions. And sacks and yards sacked. He's leading the league in a ton of categories.
So not exactly a great spot to be in. Like you're just getting sacked all the time.
But he's still going to be
Stephen Core is like decent
NFL quarterback. He's 23 years old. He's going to throw for 4,000 yards. There's some value there. But is he going to be the guy that can bring you to a Super Bowl or bring you to NFC Championship? I don't see it.
I think it's early to say that, like put that kind of label on him. But if it's your opinion, I respect it.
No, but you know what I'm saying. Like you asked
I hear
where
you.
I am with him.
I hear you.
But I also think he's a competent quarterback. Like
that's kind of where I'm
bad.
at. When I see him, I think I see more good. You see some bad, obviously. Like you see the picks and stuff. But I do believe you see more good than bad.
What's his ceiling? Kirk Cousins, which isn't a bad ceiling. Like, what's the best he can be?
Yeah, I think the best he can be like a good starter.
Yeah,
like not like elite, but like a good it's like in that range. I don't want to say his name. Like I don't know if their skill sets I think are kind of different, but that's fair. Like a solid good starter. I think he could be that, which can win you like playoff games and stuff in the right situation.
Andy Dalton's, I kind of like look at that kind of thing where it's like.
I like that he's a gunslinger. Like I appreciate that about him. I like watching quarterbacks like that. They can be fun to watch. But I'm still kind of like the jury. Obviously the jury's still out on him, but I think he has a lot of potential.
Who's it out on?
We were just talking about Sam Howell. We were going through the NFL board, talking a little Sam Howell. We were in the Commanders Rams.
I think the jury's in on him. I think they think it's their guy.
The fans, I feel like, kind of feel that way.
He's kind of like Davis Mills.
So you don't like him?
No, I like him. I actually like Davis Mills.
Interesting. Because I like him.
Who said I like Davis Mills?
I like him a lot more than I like Mills.
So I just think that I saw, again, I'm not doing player A, player B, but I did see something when we hype up a Sam Howell. Like, he's on a bad team, but he's got the stats. Mm-hmm. He's got, the passing yards, the interceptions. Like, he gets sacked. But when you do the player A, player B, it's like him and Davis Mills had the same exact stats, but last year it's like we're clowning on Davis Mills, and this year we're sucking off Sam Howell. And it's just these narratives get built about certain players, but I don't think it's fair. I'm not
no way Davis Mills threw for as many yards as he's thrown for this
I don't
year.
think. Again, it might not even be Davis Mills, but I was trying to look for it. But I did see Sam Howell being compared to a quarterback that I do know is getting sucked off.
Did you guys see who the 2 most inaccurate quarterbacks in the NFL are?
Insane. Ev, you're gonna freak out.
Is it Mahomes one of them?
No,
Nope.
You're gonna freak the fuck
You're
out.
gonna be upset.
Guess. I'll give you 5 guesses.
I have an issue with this, by the way. I know who it is.
Ev, 5 guesses.
No.
So it's gonna annoy me then.
We gave him a hint that he should get.
Who's Stroud?
Yeah.
Yep.
But
He's
here-
second
so-
most inaccurate quarterback.
Let me
in the
defend
NFL.
Stroud for a second.
Tyson Badgett is.
I got to defend
number
Stroud.
one.
So Stroud, by the way, is also leading the league in interception percentage. Low intercept.
Yes.
So he might be inaccurate, but he's not throwing the ball to the other team.
Yeah, but you know that. I mean,
it's also a gunslinger. When you're a gunslinger, it's gonna happen.
What do they mean by what's their
Great question.
realm of inaccurate?
Can you look up the stat?
Yeah, what does that
It
mean?
was on Twitter.
Is it like uncatchable balls? Is it like
I think it was.
So
like,
going off that, I would like to see how Brett Favre. So Brett Favre, if PFF was around when Brett Favre was playing.
But Brett Favre does interceptions. Stroud doesn't.
Well, in the sense when you're a gunslinger and you're fucking throwing into tight spaces and you're throwing risky passes, which I'm guessing if PFF's grading it off that, Stroud might be inaccurate. Even Jordan Love's gotten way better, but when you watch Stroud and Jordan Love, and they're like, oh, he's inaccurate, I'm like, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
Even when he makes completions, I'm like, whoa. But Yeah, the CJ Stroud thing legitimately shocked me.
But I need to know what they mean by inaccurate because that has.
I think that I don't know where the tweet
I think it's
is.
like a certain like radius and like nerd.
Actually, I was gonna say I think it's actually Stroud's completion percentage isn't like
it's not that
like spectacular. He's 275 for 441.
62% completion rate.
So like not horrible, but not like not gonna.
I said the lowest interception percentage in the league, 1.1%.
Yeah, but it's total. It's a little. I get what you mean. You're right, but it is different. Like, to me, this is meaning that he is missing open guys. Where it's like,
but is that what they're saying?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know
I'm
what
pretty
it
sure that's what it was, but I could be wrong. I saw the tweet and I went past it because that's all I thought was like, oh, I can't wait to bring this up.
Because one thing that I like that Stroud does is he's kind of the guy that he's good at ball placement where he's the kind of a guy like where like either my guy's gonna catch it or no one is.
Sucks he's not playing.
Which could be like I just feel like that maybe could like have a misreading where when you make a lot of throws like that because I know he's a guy that likes to those throws like over the middle in the tight windows. He likes to throw it low.
Yeah.
Because it's where like either my guy's gonna go down and get it or it's just not gonna get picked off. And I think that's part of why he doesn't turn the ball over a lot. But I could see that turning into where like when he misses, like oh he's missing in the dirt, like inaccurate throws. But I think overall he is pretty accurate. You see like just the way he's able to extend plays and stuff. But
it also like
that's different than his
when,
accuracy.
It was a little bit of a troll, but it is a fact. But also like he's playing really well and he has not many interceptions. Like it doesn't. You could be inaccurate to me, and he's obviously not that inaccurate when he has a.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like hard to say like how inaccurate can he? He can't be that inaccurate, I guess. But also, I guess for example, like you brought up, I know Badger was a little troll, but if you, like
he is the last one.
Like let's look at I would say let's look at what you're saying. He was the one next to him.
Badger's the worst, and then it's him in the NFL.
What I thought you were gonna say he was better, but I guess the point I was gonna make is. Like, I bet if you took all the throws that Badgett has to make and then look at all the throws that, like, Stroud's made.
Yeah.
We're like Stroud's airing the ball out downfield, more tight windows. They're letting him throw the ball way more. It's like Badgett was, like, making, like, he's throwing hitches and shit.
Yeah.
And, like, Stroud's throwing the ball all over the yard.
Sorry I'm late, by the way. There was so much going on. Fanta was here.
Oh, shout out Fanta.
Fanta's, and he's a Browns fan, so I was
Are you putting him on? Is he here?
He had to go to Fordham. He's going to Fordham for Fordham St. John's.
The most Fanta thing in the world. God bless
What
him.
a joke. Fordham's a joke.
I think they're playing St. John's.
Yeah,
no?
Fordham's a joke. What a joke of a school and a program.
But regardless, yeah, Fanta's a Browns fan, so I was talking a little about Brown. He goes, do you think we have a little chance? Like, I was like,
I think they do.
You're going to beat the Bears this week. And
I said I like the Bears with catching 3.
Is it at Bears?
No.
Ooh, that's tough place to
I'm
go.
leaning toward the Browns. I know I'm usually the guy that throws cold blanket.
I think low scoring. I think like we get a very low scoring game. Both defenses playing way better. We talked about it before.
Very nice of the Browns to sign Flacco to the team, not the practice squad.
53-man active roster.
Yeah.
Their starting quarterback for the rest of the year. What we did, we went through like all the NFL games. We got the last 3, which are like last 2. We got the best games. Cowboys at Bills.
Woo-hoo!
Bills minus 2.5. Give me the Bills.
Bills.
Give me the Buffalo Bills. Cowboys off the win of the millennium. They smashed the Eagles. Now they come back to earth. They go to Buffalo. They play a good team on the road, and they lose to the Buffalo Bills. And Josh Allen his resurgence is back. The Bills reclaim that spot back. They're in the playoffs. And they have the Frank the Tank and the Dolphins sweating their cocks off.
Yep.
Absolutely sweating their balls off. Everyone likes the Bills?
I don't know.
I love the Bills.
I like them a lot. I like the Bills pretty
The Cowboys are a good team.
Absolutely.
100%.
But you see, when they...
It's a road game.
Other than this game against the Eagles, when they play good teams, it hasn't went like well for them overall.
It's tough to play in Buffalo as well.
It is. Yeah, I'm still undecided here. I don't know. I'm not trying to be vague or difficult. I don't know. This is a confusing game. By the way, we talked about Michael Walker earlier on the show. He signed with the Royals, so that's one of those guys that I'm just going to say.
The Royals.
Royals got Seth Lugo,
Lugo,
and
Will Smith.
Yeah,
Royals
and Hunter Renfrow
doing
today too.
something here.
Yeah.
Who?
Hunter Renfrow, the outfielder.
Yeah.
I know there's 2 Hunter Renfrows.
Yeah.
There's also Hunter Renfrow.
Watching them last night.
I was just watching. I was like Hunter Renfrow.
There are 2 Hunter Renfrows. Yes.
Raider receiver.
Shout out. I know you guys probably obviously talked about it, but shout out to all of us yesterday talking through the game, and we're like, we're just taking the Raiders. Very nice of us all.
I was one. I had a weird because I took the under, so I said it was the weirdest. Like 10 minutes in, I was like, well, I split.
Yeah, it's over.
I kind of just sat there. I was like, that's good. I guess I just watched.
Yeah, this game I'm still undecided. I'm really excited to watch this game, but I think the Cowboys are decent. I'm getting 2 points.
Oh, no, like when I take the Bills, this is not more. I guess a little about the Cowboys, but I just think it's the spot. It's like just I love fading a team coming off a huge primetime win.
Yeah.
Now going on the road to a team that needs a win desperately, like really, really needs this win bad at home. Is playing a lot better. Yeah, I like the Bills a lot. I just think the spot everything.
If I bump it to 3, I can get the Cowboys.
It's gonna be a lot of juice because
a lot of juice.
That's like a firm 2.5.
Fuck. It's like
that's a firm 2.5.
Drops the Cowboys to -141.
I was gonna say I
that.
figured it was gonna be a bit.
Fuck.
That's a firm 2.5.
I don't know yet. Then I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And then the Sunday night game, I believe we'll be streaming it. Ravens at Jags.
Yeah.
Ravens are -3.5 on the road. Give me the Jags with 3 in the hook.
This is such.
Give me the Jags with the 3 in the hook.
I'm the biggest. I think on this show I might be the biggest Ravens guy. I was beginning of the year. I said they're going to win the division.
I'm with you, Marty. Big Ravens.
I'm a big Ravens guy. This is a Jags line. I fucking hate it. I'm not sure what I'm going to bet yet. Depends how my Sunday does go. But this is such a Jags of. They just lost 2 games in a row now. They were 8-3.
Yes.
They lost 2 games in a row.
But Lawrence was banged. In theory, he should be. This is his first game healthy in a while.
Well, he played last week.
Yeah, but he wasn't right.
Yeah, regardless though, like it's such a game the Jags are squeak out. I could see or losing by 3.
Yeah, I see what you guys are saying. I don't disagree. I think I'm leaning toward Jags 3.5, but I'm with you, Marty. I'm gonna wait a while. I have one question about the last game, the Cowboys Bills. The over/under is 50.5. Where are we with that?
Probably the over if I had to pick one.
2 really good offenses out there. They can get the,
also
they can get 51.
Dallas's defense. They just play. You've seen they talk about it big at the Seattle game, the Thursday night game, or whatever it was. They just play so much. Their defense plays so much better at home. I think on the road going to Buffalo. I think Buffalo kind of has their way a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I'll take the over.
And the Ravens Jaguars is 42.5.
Yeah, I like the Jags a lot with 3 in the hook. I think it's a good line for them at home. We also got Marty. I don't know how much you've looked into it. Huge bowl game slate tomorrow. I'll go over to some of the picks that I like. Obviously, you guys chime in if you feel anything. I like Georgia Southern laying 3 against Ohio. Ohio, literally, their entire offense. They have so many opt-outs, quarterbacks, good skill position guys. They're a team that was fighting for the MAC, didn't win it. I just feel like there's a team that I think bowls. It's big. Motivational factors are huge. Have to really do your research on opt-outs and transfers and stuff like that. Ohio has a ton of guys in the portal. Georgia Southern's a team that's 6-6.
Love.
They want to be there. Georgia Southern -3.
Love.
You like Georgia Southern
Love,
as well?
love.
Me too.
Love.
Georgia Southern -3. I like the under as well because I think Ohio's defense will still play hard. That was their best attribute this year. They didn't score much even with all the starters they had in offense. The total's 49. I like Georgia Southern in the under.
Also, adding on to that really quick is exactly what you were saying when you talk about opt-outs and everything. One of my things that I look into is when you're building a program, Clay Helton at Georgia Southern.
Absolutely.
You want to win that game. You want to set the tone for your program. So I love coaches that are building in the first 3 years.
100%. The next one, we had Jacksonville State at Louisiana. They're playing Louisiana. The game's at New Orleans. I kind of like Jacksonville State here. I was having some pause because they both don't have a lot of opt-outs. They're both pretty much at full strength. Jacksonville State was definitely the better team in the regular season. Louisiana did win games down the stretch to get into this bowl game. They played in the bowl game, I think, this same New Orleans Bowl the last couple of years, and they played well in it. Also, I did see a stat that kind of favored Louisiana as well, that it was teams with 6 losses against these that were not good, basically were worse against the spread. Let me say this correctly so it sounds smooth. Teams with, I believe, with only 6 wins, which is the minimum to get in the bowl game, and were worse against the spread than the other team. When they're dogs, they cover a very high clip. Which today, or the Saturday scenario, Louisiana falls under that, and Fresno falls in that, which we'll get that one in a little bit. But I still kind of like Jacksonville State here. I just think they're the better team. I think the thing that they do, they're a run-first team, And the one thing that Louisiana is horrible at is stopping the run. I just think it's a bad matchup for them. There's another game where the line is flipped. Like it opened like Louisiana minus like 2. Now it's Jacksonville State's minus 2.5. Weird thing, gambling you can talk two different ways, two different strategies, because on one hand, usually getting the bad line is just like no bueno, like when you have line movement like that. But I've noticed over the last few years with these movements, when you follow the movement, it's usually kind of gone well for people because you just see there's like clear trends that point to why the line's moving that way. They're just better, playing better for whatever reason, opt-outs, motivation. This is Jacksonville State's first ever bowl game as well. They just came up for FCS and didn't even know if they were going to get into a bowl. But the way things worked out, they won 8 games. Them and JMU were able to get into a bowl game. So I think the motivational factor here is huge. So, yeah, I like Jacksonville State laying 2.5. Next one, we got the Mexico. We got the Cure Bowl. Miami of Ohio, who won the MAC championship game, is playing Appalachian State, who lost in the Sun Belt championship game. Appalachian State's minus 6.5. I really like Miami of Ohio. They play awesome defense. Their quarterback got hurt in the year. They still won the conference championship. The quarterback is already in the portal, so he's not playing. But they on offense play incredibly conservatively. And they're basically starting a guy who hasn't really played, but I like the fact that he's got like a month to prepare for it. Their opt-outs are pretty they don't have a ton of opt-outs as transfer portal guys other than that. So I really believe I'm betting on them catching 6.5 with this defense is really what I'm doing. I like Miami of Ohio catching the points.
That's the biggest spread of the day, I think.
It is. It is.
Spread Hawks.
Yeah. Great against the spread. Like he's won the MAC. I just trust the defense, especially if this really gets 7. I don't think it will. I think it's going to go the other direction. But if you can even get 7 at like minus 120, I'd feel great about that. But yeah, I love them. I love them catching these points here. I think they're going to be motivated. I like Miami of Ohio. Next one I think has potential to be like a really good, maybe the best game of the day. New Mexico State versus Fresno State in the New Mexico Bowl. Diego Paiva, stud. They lost in the Conference USA championship game to Liberty. It was tragic because Paiva's been great all year. He got hurt, but he's playing in the bowl game. Fresno State's quarterback Mikey Keene got hurt, also is playing in the bowl game. So they're playing at full health on offense on both sides. I love the over. Love the over. Mexico State, they play good offense. They can't stop anybody, or they've struggled with it a lot, especially against a team, I think, like Fresno, who's played a much better schedule. I like the over 51. I kind of like Fresno catching 3.5. I just think my only problem is Tenford and the coach left, so I think that's an issue for Fresno State, but I still think they'll be fired up for this game. I just think they're the better team. I love that Mikey Keene's healthy. Their quarterback, I think that's huge. So I like them catching 3.5. Now we're getting basically into the two big games with we had UCLA versus Boise State. UCLA's laying 4. A weird opt-out game. UCLA starting quarterback opted out. Boise State's top 2 quarterbacks opted out.
Oh Jesus!
So, Taylor Green's going to Arkansas. Their quarterback, when he played, they were very, very good. They were much better when he played. I like the under here, and I like UCLA. UCLA was one of the best run defenses in the country. That's all Boise State's going to try to do is run. They have a very good run game.
So it's 2 quarterbacks, both backups in this game?
So UCLA's they kind of platoon quarterbacks a lot this year. The guy who they ended up going the starter at the end of the year, he's out. But they have other I think Gabers is going to start, who was not great. But we're also talking about a Pac-12 team playing like a MAC team, or excuse me, not a MAC, Mountain West team that lost their 2 quarterbacks. They're basically playing a quarterback who hasn't really played. He's had some time to get prepared, so I think that should help them a little bit. But I just think they have a very good run game in Ashton Janty and Helani. But all they're going to try to do is run the ball.
Okay.
And that's exactly what UCLA does well is stop the run. They're like one of the best rushing teams, defensive teams in the country.
You like the under here because
I like the under, and I like UCLA. I think UCLA should, and I think they have enough of talent that stayed. They lost their number 1 pass rusher, who's one of the best pass rushers in the country. I still don't think I still think they're just that much better on defense and talent wise. I like UCLA.
A little on the under on that. I like that explanation. That's good.
And then the last game of the day, tough one, but I think a good one. Cal versus Texas Tech in the Independence Bowl. I like Cal. I think they have a lot of motivation. I like their coach. They're coming off 3 big wins in a row to get bowl eligible, which I think is huge. You look at teams like that they were fighting for their lives to get in this bowl game. Like, they wanted it bad. They're here. They beat Wazoo. They beat Stanford and smashed UCLA in their last game.
All right.
Which is kind of like an in-state game, rivalry game for them. Conference, like the last conference game they're ever going to play. The Pac-12 is now dead. It's weird because I do like Texas Tech. They had some opt-outs, but McGuire's a good coach. But I really like Cal here as a dog. They're catching 3.
I'm seeing even 3.5.
I'm taking 3.5. Like, I'm taking Cal. I like Cal a lot in this spot.
And there's also, I mean, tonight is UConn Gonzaga in basketball.
What do you? I like Gonzaga.
I like Gonzaga too. I don't like it,
Plus 4.5.
but I like them. I like Gonzaga tonight. And then Saturday, there's like college basketball starting now, kind of, where college football kind of, they only care about the playoff really. And then this is where they start to have some really good, like we have Kansas, Indiana on Saturday. We have there's a bunch of actually really good games on Saturday. You also have where does this go? LSU, Texas, Kansas, Indiana, Baylor, Michigan State, Texas A&M, Houston, Clemson, Memphis, Arizona, Purdue is a great game. North Carolina, Kentucky, Bama, Creighton, which we all know Rico will be at, and Tennessee, NC State, Dayton, Cincinnati.
What's the line in that Bama Creighton?
I was just waiting for you to say it, Marty. Don't worry.
It won't come out until like after tonight.
All right.
I will say the like no joking aside, Dayton, Cincinnati, for the Ohio people out there, it is.
It's a ginormous game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Ginormous because they never play each other.
Yeah.
Like Xavier and Dayton don't play each other anymore. Getting a Cincinnati game is fucking huge. And you guys know C.J. Frederick?
Yeah.
So he went from Iowa to Kentucky. He's on Cincinnati now.
He's still going?
Cincinnati's a big, honestly, breakout year for Cincinnati. They Wes Miller is their coach.
Did Xavier beat them?
Yeah.
They did, right?
Yeah, but they're like 26th in Ken Palm. Great offensive team. They beat up on bad teams. The one time they got a test, they lost. So, they have the metrics. But when they obviously their one real test, they failed. So tomorrow will be
into a chainsaw.
And they're hitting the best team in Ohio now, baby.
100%. I literally low key root for Dayton, just for you,
dude. It really is at the end of the day, the Patriots suck, and it's all I have right now. All you have is hope as a fan.
I have the Giants a little bit till this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm so jealous of you guys.
It's a great
I hope you guys,
position to
when
be
you guys
in.
talk about the Giants,
really, if the Giants, I said to him, if the Giants and Bears are the same spot, if the Giants or Bears win, the season continues. If we lose, it's over. Now then, it's
if they win this weekend,
have fun with
if they
it.
win
Yeah.
this weekend, I might hop on the bandwagon for the rest of the year.
If they win this weekend, we are having a Cutlets Day, and we are all wearing velour sweatsuits.
I think I'm gonna be I think I'm gonna get a Tommy DeVito jersey and just ride because just seeing I guess
it's fun
hanging around with you guys and seeing it and hearing it
it's so fun.
It's oh my god, I wish I was 5-8.
You know it's fun going like this.
Even when I tweet about it, get all excited, Tommy Cutlets, people are like, who cares? You're losing. I'm not letting anyone
no one's bringing us down.
I'm having fun with this. Whether this week he throws 5 picks, or he does in 2 weeks, or he's the best quarterback that's ever lived for the rest of our lives.
100%.
I'm going to enjoy it every second of it while it lasts.
It's funny. The Jets are 5-8, but it's a completely different.
It's disaster.
It's in the hunt. When you can talk yourself into, well, if we win, they lose,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Last night, we were on the graphic, brother. We were on that graphic.
When you're on the graphic in December, your balls tingle.
But Dukes, we hold the tiebreaker with the last team in the wild card. We play.
I think you guys are gonna make the playoffs.
We're playing the
I'm
team.
gonna speak it.
We're
I think you guys
playing
are
the
going.
6 and 7 Saints, and we're also playing the 6 and 7 Rams. We are playing everyone we need to play. The only thing we need is the Eagles to not care week 18.
Do you know what his
17,
not
whatever
to
it
put
is.
we just sucked off the Giants.
16 and 18.
It is hilarious too. You guys really are either in the best position or legitimately the worst. If you guys can either be in the playoffs, it's what a success, what a bounce back, or you literally are the 15th pick in the draft.
No, but this is what I stand on business
for sure.
This is our head coach that we're going forward with. A lot of foundational pieces we're moving forward with. This is building culture. This is building winning foundation, winning attitude, winning mindset. I fully believe in that. I'm dead serious.
1,000%. Ev, hard fought losses where moral victories, and I mean, do you guys actually think Tommy DeVito could be the guy? Like, full honesty, do you think he could be the guy?
Full honesty, take my DeVito hat off. No.
Probably not. I mean, probably not.
But I'll ask
like-
a different question. Is he the guy right now?
But also, like, he is doing this.
Yeah. He's the perfect guy for this situation.
Guess what? Darren Waller just got off the IR. That's a guy.
That's a real guy.
I'm going to speak some gibberish right now. I'm still a little drunk from last night holiday party. I legitimately think if they make the playoffs, Tommy DeVito will win a game.
Yes.
Because there is just an aura,
I don't.
and there's a storyline, and sports sometimes
story.
matches up perfectly for the story.
We'd have to play the.
Tim Tebow won a playoff game.
Could we play
You guys
we
would
play the Bucks?
No, we'd have to play the.
play the
We'd most likely.
Yes, I was just hoping to throw
play the
it to you.
Cowboys.
We'd most likely have to play the Eagles or the Cowboys.
You guys would get stomped. But
Tommy DeVito.
But who
game.
cares? Live in the moment. And you know what? I'm so sick of people saying this DeVito stuff is too much. This is a nice story. This is a good story.
It's fun.
There's so much negativity out there. It's Christmas. This is a nice story. I am all in on DeVito. I think it's a fun. And I'm a Jets fan, so I'm looking at it from a side, but. It's a nice thing. Go. I hope the Giants win. And like I said it earlier in the show. We had Justin Pugh in here. Great guy. I don't know. If you can't root for the Giants,
we need to get him back.
Speaking of, actually,
get him back.
no joke. Do you want to do? He can't come in at 11 on Tuesday, but he did say like I'll come in and we could just chop it up. About like, do you want to just do a podcast with him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tommy
right.
DeVito?
No, Pugh.
I want to just talk about DeVito with them and just kind of like.
And maybe we could put it up on like we could do it on socials, or we could just go live or something again on Pick Central with them. I think it would be worth
No,
it.
for sure, definitely. I would just want to talk.
Absolutely.
I want someone in the building about this whole DeVito.
Yes.
Yeah,
a big
especially if
story.
they win. Oh my god.
You know what? The DeVito story I think took a turn. Where like at least in my head, and I'm actually back in on the whole family. I was out. The hours from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock leading up to that Monday Night Football game, shit hit the fan. I don't know how to explain it, but like between the agent, the tailgate with the dad, like the mom, like the whole like,
Yeah.
and the outfit coming into it. I think that like it was just like, all right, enough. Like, there's a 4-hour span where I was like, enough. And then he won the game, and I was like, we're back in.
The agent literally is getting inducted today in the Italian Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Is he in the Chicago office? I saw Nicky Smokes with him.
What?
Yeah. Do you want me to pull it up?
Yeah.
He
There
played
today, dude.
he played college football at Marist.
I
he?
saw that.
Yeah. His name's Sean Stilettos. He played at Marist. Marist like 50 minutes where I grew up.
Oh yeah, I guess he was in the Chicago office.
Oh no shit.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Damn, what a legend. I need to meet that guy at some point. Hopefully we can get him in after the season's over, regardless of what happens.
And I will say that, like, so I thought this guy was, like, gimmicky at first. It's so much cooler.
I told you. I looked into him. He's dressed like that for years.
He has a whole room in his
much-
house
so
for his
much-
wardrobe.
He
It's
did not
so
just
much
start
cooler.
dressing like that because DeVito,
So much
he's a DeVito
cooler.
client. He is dressed like that his entire
Yeah.
career. as
Well,
an
I thought
agent.
he was, like, wearing it, like, to the game, being
Right.
like, oh.
I did too
like,
at first. No.
Yeah, like,
Nope. He fedoras and shit. He wears it all
That's
the
just
time.
because we're on the internet and we believe that everyone's just trying to get some clout, and
No,
he's
he's
that's just him.
He's a character. He's a real character.
going
like him.
off everything besides sports, did you guys happen to see the John McEnroe shoe collab that he had with Travis Scott?
Like the tennis player?
John McEnroe, and like there was this clip where John McEnroe fucking goes at Travis Scott on a Zoom. You guys
No,
see
I
this
haven't
at all?
seen
Is it a
it.
bit?
It went viral.
I actually
So
watched
that-
the John McEnroe documentary
So
recently.
it was
on
it was
Showtime.
it was the same. He went in on him because they were trying to make it like the what was his what was
One
the burger-
second. 1 second. Brandon Staley's out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
had to happen.
Had to happen. We talked about it when the show
But
started.
it's official.
Yep.
Staley and general manager Tom Telesco out.
Ken Jack said both those guys are going to be out. I mean, after we talked about obviously Marty this beginning of the show. It was just an embarrassing effort, but they had just completely given up. You had to make a move.
Yeah. Also, he was on Pardon My Take. Big Cat's wearing not Italian, just supportive. It's a funny shirt.
Staley gone. See you later. Terrible coach. One of the worst coaches. One of the worst coaches you'll ever see coach a playoff game in NFL history.
And coming off Anthony Lynn.
Yeah,
They're just two atrocious hires.
they're really good at picking shitty coaches.
Yeah, they're
San Diego or Los Angeles Chargers. Excuse me.
Also, just like, should have tied. Wasn't that the game?
Which one?
If they
Yes.
tied, they both would have went to the playoff
Right.
with the Raiders.
Oh, I remember. That's another where I don't believe in. I don't.
No, I
you
know,
don't
but
try
it.
to tie,
Well,
I do.
don't know.
He's getting,
That
your
is
job
getting
is to
in.
put your team in the playoffs.
No, I hear you.
This is his tenure. This is his tenure.
Though?
Lost Week 18 winner go home game to the Raiders. If they tied, they both would have went in.
I remember that.
2022, they lost 31-30 after being up 27-0 in the playoffs, and then obviously they lost
Your
this
dumpster
year.
fire.
Like,
You know what his career record is? 24-24, 500, right on the dot. Brandon Staley.
I thought that was against the spread record. Maybe it was his normal record.
Normal
That's
record.
possible.
And he will probably, I imagine he's only 41, but I imagine he'll never coach again as a head coach.
You never know.
probably not.
He's pretty young. You're right. You never know. Right.
I would
agree with
say
that.
not looking good right this second, but
Grady Little managed again after the Red Sox debacle. So
I mean, he could go somewhere and be a good coordinator and work his way back.
Yeah, it'll take a little bit.
Quickly, I guess before I end the show,
Wait, Brandon Staley, just one last thing. You know where he went to college? Dayton.
Oh no, I know.
oof.
Oh no, well, Dayton's got low-key got a resume. Chuck Noll,
Yeah, Brandon Staley.
Brandon Staley, McVay's dad.
McVay.
Oh, no, John McVay.
Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Gruden, Dan Patrick,
Ohio's got a
Kevin
good.
McDougal.
Ohio's got a lot of good ones. Shout out Kevin McDougal.
Yeah.
That guy's a good ball coach.
Yeah, that guy knows ball.
Good ball coach. I guess quick before we wrap up, I would give some UFC plays before we wrap up. Just any of my UFC heads out there, MMA heads. I like Boudet in the opening fight -130. I like Lipsky as a dog. She hits hard. I think Casey Neal's striking defense is bad. Give me Kelleher +155. Garbrandt is so washed, has no chin. I think this is such a coin flip fight. I'll gladly take the plus money there. I like Bryce Mitchell, even though he's pretty heavily juiced against Josh Emmett. I think he should just grapple fuck him to death. Then I also like, in the main event, I love Leon. Colby Covington's a fucking scumbag. The shit he said about Leon's dad yesterday at the press conference was crazy. I hope Leon wraps his shit around Colby's head. Give me Leon Edwards by finish. Maybe even like late round props in the main event. And I'll say the co-main event should be incredible. Pantoja Royval. This is tough for me because I think Pantoja I just think is better, more well-rounded, but Royval's such a madman. He has so many different ways he could finish. I wouldn't be shocked if he was able to clip him. Maybe a little club and sub. He even talked about it at the press conference. But I love Leon to get it done in the main event and still.
Max Scherzer underwent surgery to repair a herniated disc in his back. He'll be out until the middle of the season. Tough blow for the Rangers.
Yeah.
Also, DeGrom, and then they recently signed Tyler Molly yesterday, and he's also out middle of the season. So
this doesn't hurt so bad when you're wearing the crown.
And you still have Eovaldi, Gray, Heaney, and Dunning. And they just need one more.
Is there
arm.
any chance they re-sign Montgomery?
Sure. I doubt it, but it's not. I don't think it's.
They obviously just have they've already spent so much money. Like just
The last two off seasons, they spent
years.
so much money.
They
But
have fucking $600 million, $500 million just in their middle infield. But
they did just win the World
obviously
Series.
worked
So
out.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't rule the Rangers out of anything the last couple of years in the offseason.
All right. Appreciate everyone watching, listening. Make sure to like the stream. Also, just plug a Spinning Backfist. We did like a full breakdown, all the fights, all the news on the Spinning Backfist MMA show YouTube channel. Check that out. Appreciate you, Dukes, and the ones and twos. Even after the holiday party, appreciate you. 5 a.m. Warrior. Get that dog coming.
That's when you got home.
Duke's a
Oh,
maniac.
wait till you go outside and you talk to Tom and we have the story.
Dukes is a savage.
Me-
I have a
Absolute dog.
bunch of text messages I haven't looked at yet.
Tommy's
so-
the dog. Tommy's the dog.
Oh.
Woo. Appreciate everybody watching in. Everyone be tweeting pics. Check those out. God bless. Appreciate you.
Streaming Sunday night.
Have a good weekend. We'll be streaming Sunday night and Monday night. God bless.